Just gonna be a quick one today. I'll keep as quick as I can. Just got a few tools in from Banggood. Thought you might be interested, and we've got Mark II of a tool I reviewed before. So let's get into it. Actually, before we start, I was looking at my YouTube analytics the other day, and I noticed 9% of my subscribers are female. It's gone up from 1% to 9%. So it made me think, at some point I've probably called some of you or a few of you dude. So I want to apologise to the ones without a sausage. Sorry for calling you a dude. Have you ever bought those toggle clamps online from, say, like Amazon? You know the toggle clamps I mean, you lever them and the nose of it pins down in the workpiece. And it's arrived from Amazon and it's only that big. Yeah. What we have here is a failure to communicate. I was expecting a much bigger version than this saddle square, and I've waited over a month for this. I've wanted one for ages, and I thought, well, might as well get it off Banggood because it's kind of free. I've just got to review it. That's pretty nice, isn't it? I do like anodised tools. I'd rather have a penchant for those shoes, you know, the ones with the red underneath. Women wear, they're sexy as hell. But anyway, looks alright, doesn't it? That's good to me. Yep, I'm nice and square. Oh, just catching. Loosen that off and tighten it up again, that's fine. What more can you say about the saddle square, really? 80, 110mm. And for you awkward fuckers, 4 and however many freedom units. 3 and something, 3-ish inches. And this, my pedigree chums, is why you need a saddle square. Oh, lovely, lovely chubbly. I've got only one bad thing to say about this, one criticism really. It's not something that's going to bother me too much, and that's this edge. If I wanted to transfer 30mm to there, it's not going to be very accurate, is it? It would have been nicer if the edge was like that, wouldn't it? So you can really get your mark accurately down. And you can't really with that. I can't remember the last time on a square that I've actually used the measuring systems anyway. So yeah, no biggie. It's alright that though, I wish it was bigger, that's all. The next tool is going to be a modern version of these. Problem, these aren't cheap. I managed to find this particular one cheap. Gramercy Tools Pat. Made in the USA, and it was actually the cheapest one I could find. I remember looking at these and thinking, Jesus Christ, they're so expensive for what they are. My biggest problem with these is this blasted, the length of that. Now in your workbench, you're going to have to drill a hole through your workbench. And that means if you've got drawers underneath your workbench, all the dust and shit's going to go into your drawers. So that's not really necessary. This bad boy is from Banggood. Now if you get that from your normal places, Bessie, Festor, they're like 70 quid. Oh shit, you not. This, 27 quid. You can buy these with a 19mm dog or a 20mm dog. My dog holes in my MFT top are 20mm. The nice thing about this, if you're going to be using it on a workbench like this, you only need to drill a hole that deep. The hole is going to fill up with dust, of course, but it's not going to be going in your drawers. These are very handy indeed. This is my MFT top, and it doubles up in storage. You see what I mean by the shit going down the holes? Yeah. But more importantly, it's never going to work, is it? Not that I bought this for that. My issue with this, using these, is I've got this part of the cabinet there. which is no good to me, is it? Same here. Oh, that's tight. Tight as a duck's arse. Try that again. Now you can buy these with this handle. This is much faster. I'd suggest you get that than these. This type, although this is a hell of a lot cheaper. These also have a tendency to catch, which drives me mad, unlike these. And last but not least, honing guide Mark II, I'd call that. And it isn't the same as the previous one I reviewed. To start with, it's got rubber thingamabobs on the wheels. You can also move these wheels on the inside like you could on the previous jig. This jig has a better grip, I feel, because you've got two angles for your planer irons and your chisels. Remember also the previous jig I had to saw into the end so I could use my screwdriver to tighten it up. I don't have to with that one. Now, the previous jig, there did seem to be a batch of bad ones. Mine was fine. There were people that said they were having problems and it was a piece of shit. I've still got mine, except mine's pretty battered now. It's been used a lot and I've dropped it. A friend of mine got a second one and I had to put the two together to get the working one again. People's complaint about this one also, apart from it putting a skew on your chisel, was these wheels wearing out. And I didn't, to tell you the truth, I didn't notice this. You see on that wheel it's pretty dull and that's got a bit of a shine on it. It served me well. And I saw this and I thought, well, it's only 20 quid. Let's see if this is any better. It's smaller. It's not as in the sense of height. What I was surprised to see is I put this backstop for this one, which fits nice and snugly. And guess what? That fits. Well, that's interesting. See, that's almost closed up, and that is a 10mm chisel, I think. Yeah, 6mm chisel. Yeah, that's a shame. What we want to see is how square does it cut. Just so you don't think I'm putting a fast one, I'm having to regrind this chisel. As you can see, there's a facet there, and that's the new grind coming through. So I'm going to be a little while with that. I'll tell you what, I noticed while I was doing this. Can you see it? Nakahai, which I think is Chinese for wrong hole. Look. You know we're going to fit in there, don't you? Anyway, we're done with that now. I've got a new face on it. As you can see, a new face on it, but that's quite a lot of burr. I need to get that off before I check to see if that's square. I trust this square. Stare it. You see that? I'd call that square, wouldn't you? So having discovered the correct way to put the small chisels in here, I thought I'd try my 3.5mm, I think, chisel. It won't take this 3.5mm chisel because it's so tall that way. I haven't tried this 6mm chisel. That is absolutely fine. So you see what I mean? So this angle here, you can't fit a chisel in that's tall that way. And that sits in there nicely though, that Narex chisel. See, there's quite a height difference there, isn't there? And that is a Lie-Nielsen chisel, that 3.5mm. Having said that, previous one I reviewed doesn't take 3.5mm either. Would I recommend this? Yes, I would. However, if you do receive something that's not match fit from Banggood, it's not my fault. This works. I've shown you it works. There's nothing wrong with it. So don't blame me if something's wrong. I mean, like everything you buy, there's a chance it might not be any good. Might be a bad batch, something like that. But I got a bit of a antsy comment when I reviewed this one and the person had received a faulty one. It wasn't grinding a square bevel on his chisel. I mean, that could be down to all sorts of issues. It might be that he's got a crap chisel that doesn't have two parallel sides. It might have been that his square isn't any good, to be honest with you. And it also could be that the jig was holding his chisel in a skewed angle. But like I said, this works. It's square, grind square. I would advise one of these woodworking screwdrivers. I don't know really if they've actually got a name. I made mine look like a mushroom. Fly agaric, by the way. Go back to my video and you can see how I made that without a lathe, because you're going to need it for that end to cinch it down. Don't forget to head over to my Patreon page to support this channel. For the price of a pint once a month, it's pressure free, no obligation, cancel any time, ad-free vids, early access to vids, the director's cut, and a WhatsApp group for top tier peeps.